I'm McManus. This is
Helmets
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
We almost had a soda crisis today.
We did almost have a
did.
soda crisis.
Every single show,
it.
I bring a Diet Mountain Dew typically. And today when I got here, I realized I did not have it with me.
Oh, no.
Oh, no is right.
Yeah.
I need some
That's
sort
your
of
survival.
caffeine
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
carbonation
You need
during
an
the show. I
injection.
can't just drink water during our show. And so, yes, thankfully, had enough time. Taylor and I went to the gas station. We solved the soda crisis
We
of
did. We are good.
2026.
So is it the taste or it gives you the most caffeine? Or
It's
both?
the taste for me.
For you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I prefer the lighter sodas like a
Yeah.
Sprite or Mountain Dew, stuff
Okay.
like that. I
And
feel like
you
the
really
dark.
feel a jolt? Like
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I think
No.
it's totally
It's
just
more like
in my head.
in your head.
It's a placebo.
Yeah,
placebo, yeah.
Definitely for me.
Yeah.
Caffeine
wrong
does
with that.
nothing for me. I can drink like a whole iced coffee before bed and fall right asleep.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it does nothing for
I
me.
agree.
I try to trick myself that it does. I'm like, I need my coffee in the morning. I'm like, it really doesn't do anything.
I
I
don't
just,
even know why I drink it.
yeah, I just
Well, y'all
like
could
for the
drink decaf
taste.
then if it doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're heavy loaded though. Like it's we do that Cafe Bustelo and I make
yeah,
the
the good
coffee.
stuff.
It's mud.
Yeah.
We like it strong.
There you go.
You know, so I do like the taste. I don't know, but I don't get jacked up
Yeah,
over
me
it
either.
at all. I don't know why. But I was just saying, because
Yeah.
the commercials for that, they got them jumping through the roof and all that kind of stuff.
It's always
right?
been
Yeah.
known as to be the
X
one
Games.
with the most caffeine.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
Oh, okay.
actually true or not. It could be, but I would doubt that it's that much more because then I feel like it would have to be classified
see,
as
what's
like a
your
most
Pepsi, where'd you go?
drink.
Pepsi there?
Yeah, mine's a Pepsi. Does it
Okay.
tell you how much caffeine is in these things?
I'm sure it does.
Probably somewhere. Although, you know, who knows with the FDA these days.
What they can say or not say.
what they're
Yeah, it
hiding.
doesn't say on mine,
Yeah.
so that's why I don't know that we'll ever.
A
really
lot
know.
is
Yeah.
the answer, maybe.
But I don't drink any sort of soda on the weekends. I only,
Yeah.
and if I'm off on a day, and even
Just
though it's a
before the
weekday,
show.
don't drink it. Like
Yeah.
Thursdays in football
Cool.
season when we didn't have a show, didn't drink a single one
Right.
on those days.
Yeah.
It's very odd. I actually blame Frank Frangie because he always has
He
soda
got you
during
hooked, yeah.
Okay.
the show, and so I learned it from him. So I blame him.
It's in the DNA.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't drink a lot of soda outside. It's just every now and then I'm like, I kind of want something like
Yeah.
crispy.
You know, one of the
Howdy,
best
chicken.
one of the best pieces of advice my mother gave me
Mm-hmm.
and Christina, my wife. We're at a bar and I order the drinks. And I said, "What do you want with what do you want?" She's like, "I want a vodka water." I'm like, "Okay, great." Back at the time, we were drinking vodka with 7-Up and
Mm-hmm.
lemon or Sprite and lemon or whatnot. And my mother was this was probably, I don't know, 20 years ago, something like that. She's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean what I do?" She's like, "You're wasting the booze. You drink it with water. You drink it on the rocks." I'm like, "Really?" She's like, "Just get it with water." And ever since then, always with water. I use no fruit at all. My wife likes a little lemon lime, but it was great advice. And the sugar, you don't have the sugar
Unless it's
while you're
diet.
drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
I drink my vodka with water also.
Do you?
Actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
But,
nice and smooth.
yeah. I always say I'm hydrating while I'm dehydrating. That's what I tell people.
It's a counterbalance thing. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, I like either Crystal Light or Mio in my water a lot of
Okay,
times to
yeah.
just mix it up a little bit. And so I've been at a bar before with my own little thing of
Mios.
Mio. So
Oh,
I got
yeah.
vodka water and then put my own
Little
little
shot of your own thing there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
flavor it on up. All right. We've had obviously Super Bowl week. We've been chatting with a ton
So
of guests,
jacked,
and in a few minutes we'll chat with Tom Carroll, who covers the Patriots up in Boston for WEEI, and then coming up at 3:15 we will chat with Dave Wyman, the former linebacker for the Seahawks. So lots to get to when it comes to the Super Bowl. But I want to start with the Jaguars since we've seen and heard both Liam Coen and Trevor Lawrence there in San Francisco, and this first clip that we're going to play, I can't wait to discuss because I think we learned something when we heard Liam Coen talking about seeing Trevor Lawrence in high school. He said that he actually saw him play live, like as a freshman in high school. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I thought that was fascinating. But
Yeah.
first, we'll hear him talk about Jacoby Myers and what he added to the offense.
Yeah.
Jacoby Myers comes. Our first
Great
practice
trade, by the way.
with Jacoby, we were a better team. The first practice Jacoby came in, our pass game looked completely different. The whole team was like, what? I mean, for real, it just changed because it allowed BT to do what he does well, Parker to do what he does well. Now, Brent Strange does what he does well, and Trevor had a lot of trust and respect in him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it pretty much right away. The difference you saw, and I mean, Jacoby himself and the type of receiver he is and what he can do, you notice that, but you notice the surroundings. And I think that was almost a bigger impact than Jacoby specifically of what he did on the field, of what it felt like everybody got better. And to what Coen was saying is just being able to focus on the strengths of each wide receiver and not having to maybe force some of them to do things that they're not really good at. When we talked about, up the middle and some of those catches that weren't really working for BT early on. And so I think that you can talk about the impact he personally had and, his yardage and touchdowns and all of that, but the impact he had on the receiving room as a whole and how it almost felt like everybody was like, oh, it's time to catch the ball. It's time to, those things just felt like they completely shifted once Jacoby got
and
here.
they thought Diami was going to be that guy. I mean, that's what he was here for. And it looked like he was going to be that guy. And then it just kind of didn't happen. He was dropping balls over the middle as well. And exactly what Coach says. Jacoby comes in, allows the other guys to play their natural positions and really thrive. I like the coach's gruff voice he's got going this week.
It was
I like
a little
the
different.
change. It is a little different. I
Well,
was
he's
wondering
probably been talking a lot.
Yeah,
more
he's
than
probably
he
worn
normally
out a
does.
little bit,
Yeah.
but
And then,
keep it,
that
Coach.
too.
It's the gruff.
Yeah.
I like the gruff voice from Liam Coen, but nonetheless, I think the whole thing, them being out there, getting the recognition, all in 1 year. Come on, man, it's awesome. Now come Sunday after that game's over, clock's ticking on 26. Here we go. And they'll have a chance to do it all over again. But, man, after 1 year and getting that kind of recognition, being in those honor shows, just being named, being nominated. Finishing second.
Yeah, that surprised us.
It did. I thought McDonald would be maybe second. But, hey, congratulations. And Vrabel deserves it,
Or Verbal. I know you said you didn't watch NFL Honors, but the person who announced him as the winner said Mike Verbal.
Oh, no.
Multiple times, Mike Verbal. It was like, okay.
We also heard Njigba said wrong, too.
Yes.
Oh,
Come on, guys.
Like,
we have one job.
Yeah, we need to practice these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, and in the full clip,
We'll have Tommy announce Puka Nakua next year.
I just combined them, man.
He's
I
got
just
it now.
combined them.
We saw a lot of Puka last night, by the way. But yeah, in the full clip, Liam Coen goes on to say that he saw Trevor Lawrence play football as a freshman in high school live because he was recruiting, and I'm assuming he was at
UMass.
UMass, okay, thank you.
He was the QB
I knew he
coach
was in
at
college.
UMass.
That's unbelievable to think that Trevor and Liam, they didn't have a relationship, obviously, when Trevor was like 14. But the fact that Liam has known of Trevor Lawrence for that long,
Right.
that almost makes me think how we've been talking about when Liam arrived. He sat Trevor down, and obviously they worked on the footwork and all that stuff. But he might have been a little bit harder on him than some previous coaches here. Now it kind of makes sense too. Like Liam saw this wonderkind as a freshman in high school with all the talent and all of the attention ever since he was that young, and then watched him have success in high school as much as he did, and then watched him win, the national championship as a freshman in college. And he, I think, understood exactly the persona that Trevor's had all that time. And I don't know that the other coaches that had been with Trevor, whether it was Urban Meyer or Doug Peterson, I don't know that they necessarily knew that full background.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that, that's a nice connection, and seeing him at that young of an age and then being like, man,
So crazy.
what's going on? We got to fix some things. You got too much talent to not be one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, and they did. And it sounds like it's that attention to detail thing, like the other coaches did. It felt like, here's the game plan, learn it, know it, and then hopefully it works out. Instead
What do you like?
of
What don't you like?
Yeah,
Let's move on.
Yeah, but with Liam, it's that attention to detail. Hey, man, we got to fix a few things. I'm going to show you how to look at different things, how to see different things, and when you're looking at different defenses, who's coming, who's not coming, where you're going with the ball, pre-snap, all that stuff, which it didn't sound like anybody really took the time to do that. And maybe prior to at least being drafted in Clemson, he didn't have to.
Right.
He was just better, and they were all better, and they threw the ball around. I mean, you don't have to get too, complex when it comes to that. But
and that's the only knock against Trevor coming into the league was people said the Clemson offense under Dabo Swinney is very simplistic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
vanilla,
yes,
very
generational
vanilla.
talent,
Yep.
but they almost should have put a comma and been like, but he's not in a pro system.
Yeah.
Like Andrew Luck was quote unquote generational. Andrew Luck played in more of a pro
Closer
system
to
at
it.
He did.
Stanford.
Yeah, Stanford.
And so
right.
with Trevor, obviously a lot different.
Yeah, and when you put that in the chat, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that we hadn't talked about that
Right.
more. The conversation around him watching Trevor at 14 years old as a freshman in high school wasn't talked about more. I'm not surprised it was the case, though, because when you go back and you look at both, shared in the chat. Like him and Justin Fields, they were only like 30 minutes from each other. They were both in Elite Eight. They both had TV shows following them at certain times in their high school careers. They were talked about from the moment they stepped in, and they were varsity players in their freshman year of football. So I heard every interview I've ever done was like everybody was talking about Trevor and Justin even when they were freshmen. So I'm not surprised that as a QB coach at the time at UMass, he wasn't like going and watching and interested in a Trevor Lawrence, because everybody was. And right away they're like, whoa, this kid's going to be incredible.
Yeah, I guess when, at least from my perspective, like you're number one in the draft, QB, generation, whatever. I just expect you to know everything. You know what I mean? And maybe that's just not fair, because just because he excelled so much in high school and college, you just expect like, yeah, you're ready to roll right in. You know, it's a big work overload. It's a mental work overload, and even situational. You just feel like, man, you came from Clemson. Like, didn't any of your coaches coach you up and, you know, read defense? Like they know you're great. Let's make him even better. Let's get him ready for the pros.
Yeah, I'm not surprised Urban didn't do that. But I'm now looking back, I feel like we all should be surprised that Doug Peterson didn't work on those especially the footwork and the fundamentals. Like, how did Doug Peterson, as a former quarterback himself, a backup in the league for so many years, how did he not come here and immediately go, your feet are incorrect?
I don't know.
Right?
Maybe.
We thought it'd be easy. I still think that to this day. I think he came in and thought, oh, I have Trevor who can do everything, and he's the prototypical quarterback that you want, and this is an easy job for me. And it wasn't. Like, there were things that had to be fixed, and he didn't, not saying he didn't want to put in the work, but I think he came in with the mindset of, I don't have to, because it's Trevor Lawrence.
Well, especially after the success they had the first year, right? I mean, they did go on a run. It was they went on a roll.
Prior to 2022, when Doug was first hired, that's when I'm surprised he didn't come in and say, okay, we got to revamp this the way that Liam Coen did, because Liam Coen was a quarterback. By the way, is Press Taylor going to be the Bears offensive coordinator?
I don't know. They're talking to him, I guess.
Interesting. We'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, they just said that if they go internal, that's the name they said they would go with.
For the record, I just think Doug was like, it's on you. Like, you should know it. You should already know it.
Sure felt like that.
I'm not going to micromanage you, and you got to do it. And then it didn't work, obviously.
I'm not going to micromanage the defensive coordinator. I'm not going to micromanage the offensive coordinator, the game plan, the quarterback. Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's chat some Patriots. Of course, the Patriots in the Super Bowl on Sunday, Super Bowl 60. We'll chat with Tom Carroll, all things New England. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
From the Queen Law Group Studios.
Helmets and Heels.
There's Dan Hicken.
I've reached and influenced more people than anyone in the history of this planet.
And there's Jeff Prosser.
Simplicity is the hallmark of genius.
And together, they're The Drill.
Well, we all know that those two are thick as thieves.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. From GFL, Green for Life.
Hey, Tommy Mack here. When it comes to glass, you don't want average, you want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that will wow you, mirrors cut exactly to your style, fogged or broken glass replaced, decorative tabletops, they're replaced, and windows as well, and repaired to stand up to our Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote today. There's only one name for glass and mirror around here, and it's Duval.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, enhanced by Bowden Iron Associates.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Now's the perfect time to order logo coffee mugs, or maybe a logoed stick brand tumbler. They're seriously ice cold and look great with your company logo. HardballCreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball time. Former Gator Patrick Young pours out orange and blue passion with Hacker on the Gator Bites podcast.
Patrick Young coming to life.
Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Fridays on the video and social channels of 1010XL.
What's up, Duval? I'm Tab Valamek, owner of Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran-owned pool company for over 10 years. We specialize in new pool construction and pool renovations, built on military values, integrity, communication, attention to detail, and honor. Now is the perfect time to start your pool project, so when the heat hits, your pool is ready. As an Iraq War veteran and Purple Heart recipient, pride in what I do is everything. Let me show you the difference in how my team and I execute your pool project with military precision. Call Purple Heart Pools, Jacksonville's veteran pool company.
Keep your ball out of the rough with the Edwin Watts Golf Hour. Get great golf tips from the experts every Saturday morning at 10. The Edwin Watts Golf Hour on 1010XL.
Instant Keys is turning 25. A quarter century of saving the day when your keys mysteriously vanish. Seriously, it was just in my pocket. Or when that remote fob decides to quit working.
The dealership is such a hassle.
For 25 years, Instant Keys has been the go-to locksmith service for car keys, house keys, transponders, re-keys, and even high-tech smart locks. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you for honest, professional locksmith service. Use Instant Keys.
Do you have clicking, popping, swelling, or pain in your knee or shoulder? This can be due to arthritic changes in your joints. Over time, you have wear and tear of your cartilage. I am Dr. George Bari, and here at Bari Orthopedics, we have numerous ways to treat your arthritis, such as regenerative medicine, including PRP and joint replacements with CT guidance for accuracy down to the millimeter. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms, call us for an appointment today, or log on to BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you as we cruise towards Super Bowl Sunday that kicks off at 6:30 Sunday night. Tom Carroll joins us now. WEE up in Boston, but obviously now out in San Francisco to talk all things Patriots. Tom, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So what's one thing that you've learned from being on Radio Row and being around these teams?
Oh, man, I've learned more than one thing, but let's go with Drake May is actually looking like he's going to be playing close to 100%, which you probably wouldn't be able to have said a week ago when he missed practice for the first time basically all season. And the day before that, they showed us a practice period where he wasn't throwing, which was something that, again, they had not shown us since training camp, I'll say. And even in training camp, we saw him throw every day. I've been at every practice that we've been allowed to be at since July, and the guy is always throwing the football. So they skip a throwing session for the media, and then he doesn't practice, and they say it's an illness, but it's right after he has the shoulder injury. So all sorts of antennas are up. But as the weeks have progressed here, he's seemingly feeling better, and maybe he's just grinning and bearing it, and maybe there will be some sort of surgery that happens after the season. But right now, it looks like Drake May is going to be full go.
So, Tom, building off of that, we were at every Jags practice that we could go to in training camp, and we certainly did not necessarily see a 13-win team this season. Did you think this team could, and I'm not even going to say Super Bowl, but did you think this team could turn things around in such a drastic fashion attending all those practices?
So I was in the camp of this team is going to be better, and I thought that meant 9, maybe 10 wins at the most. Did not see 14 wins coming. And I know a lot of things shook out great for them when it came to the schedule, but you also need to take advantage of that schedule. Not every team that finishes in last place goes out and wins 14 games the next year. It doesn't happen basically ever. So I give them a ton of credit. I did not see this coming, but it's Mike Vrabel, man. He is so good at building a culture, and he came in, he trimmed the fat, he got rid of a lot of the hanger-ons from the post-Brady-Belichick era, and he established a new culture. They spent smart money in free agency. They hit an absolute grand slam with Milton Williams on the defensive line, a guy that only played 46% of snaps for the Eagles last year. And they said, we liked what we saw in those 46% of snaps enough to say you can be the anchor of this defense. And he has done that. And it really has been cool to see the year 2 jump from May. So it was sort of just like this perfect nexus of everything clicking at the right time. They clearly hit on the right guy at number 3 2 years ago in the draft. They bring in Vrabel, culture guy. He clicks right away with May, and they're off and running.
Tom, let's look at what will be happening on the field this Sunday. 2 of the best defensive linemen in the NFL this year, especially when you're talking about creating pressure with Barmore and Milton. But how important are those 2 guys this weekend, especially when it comes to just making Sam Darnold uncomfortable?
So every interview I've done in the lead up to this game, I have said that Milton Williams is going to be the X factor, because when he is healthy and in the lineup, teams are unable to run the ball. The first 10 weeks or so of the season, the Patriots were allowing less rushing yards than any team ever. They were allowing 50 yards or less to opponents when that guy was healthy. He gets hurt in week 11. He's out till week 18. They allow over 100 yards a game to every single opponent. He comes back week 18. It's back under 70 yards. And then throughout the postseason, we've all seen what the Patriots defense has been able to do. Like, even though they didn't finish in the top 5 to end the regular season, they're playing like a top 3 defense in the league right now. And that is because Milton Williams is such a dominant force up front, in conjunction with all the other pieces that are now sort of working off of that. Because as you guys know, when you create that pressure, it helps everyone else behind him.
Tom Carroll here with us from WEEI up in Boston and the Roundtable Network. Tom, great to have you on the show. Well, speaking of which, your offensive line gives up a bunch of sacks. They did in the regular season. They've given up 15 in the postseason. Drake May, who was phenomenal all year long, struggled a little bit, of course, with the throwing the ball, not running the football. But how are they going to keep Drake May clean, and how do you think this O-line will fare against this pretty vaunted Seattle front?
So you bring up a great point about the O-line struggling in the postseason. And I think in a vacuum, you look at that and you go, oh, wow, they have a big problem. But then when you look at it deeper and you see the defenses they were playing in conjunction with the weather that was happening with those defenses, those were just sloppy offensive games for both teams involved, all 3 matchups. So it is kind of an anomaly that the sacks have gotten to that point. The offensive line sort of figured itself out around midseason, and then Will Campbell got hurt and everyone was freaking out. But they were able to then stay afloat even without Will Campbell in that lineup. And I know he has struggled this postseason, but I have to imagine that with the weather in theory out here in San Francisco being a whole lot better than it's been, it's definitely going to be better than it was in Denver with that flash blizzard that no one saw coming. I think that's going to help this offensive line a ton. And no disrespect to the Seattle front, but New England has faced 3 better fronts in the lead up to this game, and they were able to do just enough to win. Now they have good weather, 2 weeks to prepare. I think they're going to be okay.
I feel like Sean Payton might not have seen the blizzard coming, but most meteorologists probably did in as far as not kicking the field goal. But that's neither here nor there. Like you said, the Patriots have arrived. How much content has the Hall of Fame given your New England radio station this past couple weeks?
Oh, it's been great. It's been great for content. I mean, as someone that wants the Patriot dynasty teams to be honored in the way that they should be, it's super disappointing. But, I mean, yeah, from a content perspective, it's been awesome. But I'm sure you guys talked a lot about it. Belichick, it's crazy that he's not in the Hall of Fame. If there isn't going to be a Hall of Fame with Bill Belichick in it, then what's the point of having a Hall of Fame? He's going to get in. He'll get in next year. But now they've just created this unneeded drama around it. We had all sorts of plans, content-wise, for behind the scenes. Okay, we'll have this pre-written about Belichick here. We'll get this guy booked to talk about him there. And then instead, we ended up having all these guys on to talk about it because he didn't get in, right? So it's sort of the same deal. But yeah, it's crazy. And then Kraft gets snubbed. I know the owner thing is a little tricky, but at the same time, there's other owners in the Hall of Fame with far worse resumes than Robert Kraft. So just doesn't make a ton of sense. Vinatieri getting in was awesome. We were able to talk with him a couple minutes ago out here on the floor here at Radio Row. We're going to try and get him on later in the day. He's running around crazy, hitting some luncheons, but the all-time leading scorer in NFL history didn't even get in on the first ballot. So the NFL and the Pro Football Hall of Fame voters need to figure this out. Like, it shouldn't be this difficult.
Yeah, it definitely should not. I want to talk, Tom, about a name that's familiar here in Jacksonville, and that's a Kayvon Chason, somebody who the Jags used a 20th pick on, and then he was talked about a bust here, and he's really found his home there in New England. But chat a little bit about that and what they've done with Chason to get him going at this level.
So I'll bring us back to training camp, because I've told this story a few times now because it really stands out to me. Every single day at training camp, he was out there by himself after practice for an additional 45 minutes, working out by himself with the bags, hand moves, footwork. And it's really hot up in New England in the summer. Not like what you guys get, but it's hot. So I give that guy a ton of credit. He saw the opportunity to come in here and build off the momentum that he had to end last season with the Raiders. I think he had like 5 sacks over the last 7 weeks or something like that. So he came in, he saw an opportunity. He's like, look, they need an edge rusher. It's going to be me on one side and Harold Landry on the other. And he has gone out and grabbed it. And he has been an absolute force for the Patriots up front. So another home run get there by Vrabel, Elliott Wolf. I don't know. Did they give out an executive award last year? Last night, an executive of the year award. If they didn't, it should be Elliott Wolf / Vrabel for what they were able to put together to go from a roster that, like you said earlier, won 4 games last year, that had won 4 games the year before, to now having 14 wins and being on the precipice of a 7th Super Bowl ring.
Tom, who will be the X factor for the Patriots on Sunday?
I think it's going to be Milton Williams. I've been saying this to people. I say, you look at the Super Bowl that Aaron Donald had. You look at the Super Bowl that Reggie White had against the Pats in the 90s. Like, these dominant defensive tackles that can just completely change the way the offense has to play on the other side of the football. It changes the pace, and it makes everything difficult for them. So give me Milton Williams. And Drake May would probably be the boring answer. But I think that Milton Williams, he might not win MVP. Like Donald didn't win MVP. Reggie White should have won MVP and didn't. But that's going to be my guy, is Big Milt.
I picked Travion Henderson. I just got a feeling they're going to get him out there, and he's a home run hitter and going to surprise some people. That was my X factor.
I wouldn't be shocked, right? Because he's a home run hitter, and towards the last part of the season, they really figured out how to make Travion work. It took 7-8 games or so, but then they finally figured it out. And he's sort of been put on ice this postseason because his game doesn't necessarily translate into these bad weather.
He's not a mutter.
He's more of in that scat back role.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Ramondre Stevenson, like you said, mutter, that's a great word. So Travion, I could totally see that because he breaks 2 big ones. I mean, that's an X factor type player, no doubt. And shout out to your guy, Luke Kuechly, Boston College, getting into the Hall of Fame last night.
Yeah, well deserved.
Totally deserved, man. I mean, I grew up a massive BC fan, and I cover BC for WEDI.
Awesome.
So I got to know Luke a little bit, and it's great for him to have had the short career he had to still get that honor, because that's a guy that you wish could have played, 15, 16 years, but just the way he played with the injuries, it didn't work out. So good on the Hall for getting that one right, even though they have been swinging and missing on the Patriots stuff the last
I think Luke's arguably the greatest middle backer of all time. I think you could put him in the
I think at his peak, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think in college, when he was doing what he was doing at BC, they were bad. But you look at his numbers. He set the record for tackles in a season. I remember.
I know. He broke mine. He broke my record in the 20th year.
Yeah,
God
I
bless
mean,
him.
look, you had it, right? And then it's great that an eagle got out there and grabbed it. But I remember when Manti Te'o was a Heisman finalist the year after Kuechly had that insane season, and I was just furious. I'm like, how Manti Te'o has like half the tackles that Luke Kuechly had, and he plays the same position. But anyways, we're relitigating a Heisman race from 12 years ago now, so I don't want to sound like a crazy old person.
Hey, we've talked enough about Seahawks and Patriots.
Yeah,
it's
we don't
time
mind.
to talk about something
Yeah,
else.
mix in a little Luke Kuechly, absolutely.
Is Harold Landry playing? He's another BC guy. Is he going to be healthy enough to go Sunday?
I hope so. I doubt it. I mean, he's really been battling it throughout the last part of the year here. Him and Vrabel have such a good connection from their time in Tennessee, and I think he came in. I think Vrabel brought him in with the understanding of, hey, let's just get what we can get out of Harold here, because I'd love for him to come back and be a part of the Pats next year in some capacity. I wouldn't be shocked if we're seeing Harold Landry hang it up here at the end of the season.
All right, Tom. Well, we certainly hope you have a fantastic time on Sunday, and thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, yeah. Hopefully the Pats go out and win another ring. I'm sure everyone in Jacksonville would be thrilled.
Yeah, right.
It's not
hey, I want to give a quick shout out.
Yeah.
My grandma lives in Palatka, Florida.
Oh,
so I
okay.
spent some time in Jacksonville. My uncle still lives down there too. So shout out Palatka.
Shout out Palatka. Shout out Grandma.
That's right.
Shout out Grandma.
Hopefully she listens to our show in addition to yours. All right, Tom. Thank you so much. Enjoy that San Francisco weather.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I was just looking at the forecast. Remember earlier this week I said maybe a chance of rain on Sunday. Now I see clear skies on Sunday. So high of 60, basically like our weather today, although their low is only 56, whereas our low this morning was 30-something.
So did Will Campbell play bad because of the weather and the sloppiness, or did he play bad? And did the defense get all those sacks because of the same thing? I don't know, man. The 15
I don't know how
sacks
much
is a lot
we
of
use
sacks.
the weather.
I mean, everyone plays in it, so you got to factor
Yeah.
on their other side too.
Yeah.
But I still think it's going to be a great game. I really do. I think it's going to be a tight game, and I know we'll give our picks later. So I'll
I
wait.
kind of wanted to ask him about my prop bets.
Yeah, no kidding.
But then that would have given them away.
Yeah.
So I won't do that.
Yeah.
All right, more to do on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 10 to Nix on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
From the Green Law Group Studios.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
It's a Helmets and Heels
Bowden Iron Associates.
Friday.
There's joy in every RV journey. Your journey starts at the Jacksonville RV Mega Show, Thursday, February 5th through Sunday the 8th at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center. It's Northeast Florida's largest RV show with hundreds of RVs on display with lifestyle booths. Adults $10, kids under 12 free. Seniors get $1 off Thursday. Military and first responders get $1 off every day. Thursday through Saturday from 10 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. The Jacksonville RV Mega Show at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
Attention Northeast Florida golfers. Save hundreds on golf at premier local courses and support youth development. The First Tee of North Florida Tour Card is your key to big savings and making a difference. For just $99, you'll unlock discounted golf and offers at top courses and local businesses all year long. Plus, every tour card purchase helps fund programs that build character, confidence, and life skills for kids in our community. Grab your tour card today at tourcard.org.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Here's good advice from your friends here at 1010XL. I'm Frank Frangie. The next time you need to send a gift for a birthday, anniversary, wedding, or just for the fun of it, call the experts at Coen Flowers. For over 75 years, Coen Flowers does it right. Gated communities,
Homeowners Association, secure corporate centers. When you need a full-line fence company capable of any size job, you need to think about Duval Fence. They've got the latest and greatest in gate operators and access control systems. Security is huge these days, and you want a gate that operates smoothly, around the clock, every time you hit the button. Count on a company that's been serving Duval and the First Coast for decades. That's Duval Fence. For the latest in gate operators, commercial or residential, check out Duval Fence.
Valentine's Day is sweet, but let's be honest, your septic tank wants attention too. Because when it gets ignored, it doesn't sulk, it causes problems, big ones. That's why Rooter, the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, is rolling out the Show Your Septic Some Love promotion. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping when you book by February 28th. Give your septic a little love now so it doesn't make a big scene later. When you start, call the Duck, 904-862-6769, duckduckrooter.com.
For nearly 60 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods at the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard has been Jacksonville's trusted name for the outdoors. From archery to hunting and fishing and more, their expert staff helps you get it right the first time. Right now, stop in and try the newest bows by Hoyt and Matthews and get dialed in before spring. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's Terminix.com. That's right, Terminix it.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. You got a little Boston College love there from Tom Carroll.
Yeah, how about that? That was nice. WEEI radio.
Yes.
Yeah.
EEI.
He did a great job. He good energy and
great content, and
watching that team, man.
It's got to be so much fun. I've only been to Radio Row at the Super Bowl one time.
Oh yeah,
it was Phoenix in 2014, and it is a blast. It is.
Friday's crazy.
Yeah,
Friday's
the whole thing to me was crazy because it was my first time. I was there with Jaguars Today, so Dempsey and Tony had been many a time.
Oh yeah.
But every single celebrity that walked by, like it was Lenny Kravitz and then Chrissy Teigen.
It's unbelievable.
And then I got to meet Cam Newton, and obviously I got to meet Maurice Jones-Drew because he was doing the show with Dempsey like every single day, and just these very famous athletes too, just walking by. Dan Marino, I was like, I'm starstruck. Legit, I'm starstruck.
Oh yeah, I did like 7 or 8 in a row.
Okay,
and some with Demps and Tone, but great. I mean, such a you can't even like. I couldn't even pick like my favorite. Like Joe Namath came in Miami. It was just unbelievable. He sat right across from us in his green jacket, the Jets jacket, took off his ring. Mike was in heaven.
Kiss the ring.
I mean, it was just unbelievable. I remember Larry Fitzgerald, who just got into the hall. I'll never forget this. It was the year the Tebow craze was going on. I don't know if he was a rookie yet or gonna be or whatever, but he came into Radio Row. And he had like 10 people. It was like this swarm. Like you heard him coming. Like, what is that? And you're like, holy God, it's Tebow. And all of a sudden, I look to my right, and Larry Fitzgerald standing all by himself, and nobody's looking at him, talking to him, nothing. And I literally walked up to him. I go, can you believe this? And he just started laughing. It was unbelievable. Like, here's Larry Fitzgerald.
Hall of Famer.
All by himself.
Yeah, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, but so many good times.
I saw a stat today. Have you seen the stat about Larry Fitzgerald that he had more tackles in his career than drops?
Really?
29 drops, 47 tackles he had in his career.
I'm assuming the tackles came off of interceptions.
Yeah, wow.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. He was phenomenal.
I remember when the Jaguars originally signed Christian Kirk. I was so excited, because Kirk was really good in college at A&M, but also because he learned under Larry Fitzgerald. And so you talk about a true professional. So in case people missed it, the Hall of Fame class for 2026 was announced last night. Yes, no Bill Belichick, no Robert Kraft, but Drew Brees, Roger Craig, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, and Adam Vinatieri. So to me, the Roger Craig one, I obviously wasn't like anti Roger Craig getting in.
No, right.
But you and I were talking before the show, Tom. When it takes years upon years, and I guess you'd have to put Tony Baselli in that category too, but it takes years upon years before the person that you think should get in, but it takes that long before they get in. You just wonder what changed amongst the group. Is it just the amount of people that they needed to put in that year, right? Like the roadblocks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love Roger Craig. I remember watching him growing up. He was incredible. Great receiver, great running back. I mean, he did it all. He was like that 1,000 and 1,000 guy year after year. He was just awesome. But why after 40 years is he now a Hall of Famer? And listen, I'm nowhere close to that, so I really shouldn't be talking about it. But I think of that, I'm like, that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, I understand. You're a little more stringent.
Yeah.
LB's like, yeah, one and done. You know, they don't vote you in the first time. You're out. Forget about it.
Yeah, that's my idea, but I want to allow as many people, as many players or coaches that are eligible that year. You don't put a number on how many can get in, but you are either a Hall of Famer or you're not. Like, I don't think it should take more than 7 years to decide if someone's a Hall of Famer or not, just because of the way the process works based off of the log jam ahead of you. Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't think it should be one. But I also don't want to see like 30 people getting in at once either. So I wouldn't want it to technically be that.
That would take.
Yeah, and I just feel like it would take away from some of those moments for some. If you had this one where you're like, all right, this year you have to have all, like 10 coaches and 10 players and 10 this, it would just be like take away from the moment. And I do think being a first ballot is also that extra, which now it's kind of going away because you're talking about a Kraft and a Belichick not being that. But having that first ballot tab is also just an extra something for a lot of people too, compared to, but I do think it shouldn't be like 40 years later. I mean, I think give it
20, maybe, you could give it 50 to 20, right?
Yeah, I was about to say like 10 to 15.
Okay.
Give it 10 to 15. I do think when we've talked to Hall of Fame voters, a lot of them say it's just they're like, they'll get there, just give it time. And it's more so like they already know they'll be a Hall of Famer eventually, but there's certain people they feel like deserve it a little bit more, certain people who have been waiting longer. So there's a lot of factors that go into that, but it's not perfect right now. But I don't want it to be a thing where all of a sudden it's like, here's 40 people that you have to recognize as being Hall of Famers in 1 year.
Yeah, no, I get that too. Look, like next year, Gronk and Big Ben are up.
Yeah.
They'll probably get in.
Yeah.
So that pushes other guys out. And
if Belichick wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer,
right? How
Ben Roethlisberger's going to be?
Belichick a little bit different with being the coach and Spygate and everything that went along with
the attachments.
Well, Roethlisberger has a lot of
there's some other
stuff
gates
that went on.
I doubt that even factors in with him.
If you're going to factor stuff in with Robert Kraft, that's off the field.
I don't care that Robert Kraft did whatever he did. He was a widower.
If they're taking that stuff into consideration, but to me, it's just their process is flawed, and I don't think we'd have 40 people necessarily going in. But if 1 year was 11 and the next year was 3, that would be fine by me. And if you need 3 years to decide based off of it, fine, sure. But to me, it's fairly black and white. Like Luke Kuechly is a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Larry Fitzgerald is a Hall of Famer.
Right.
There's other guys that no matter how long they're going to sit there, they're not Hall of Famers. I'm sorry.
Right. And that's what it's almost like, because the argument with Eli Manning, for example, when it comes to the Hall of Fame, like to me, Tom Brady and Eli Manning are different, and you could talk about the Super Bowls and whatever, because Eli beat obviously the Patriots twice, but you need that separation almost, that Tom Brady is going to be and should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Eli probably should, but not a first ballot. That's what I like, the separation of having, like, you're that first year guy and you deserve that. Now there's weird, this year's weird and it's throwing everything for a curve, and we've talked about, the flawedness of that, but I do like the separation of being like, this guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, but he's not that top tier. You are the first don't got to think about it type of Hall of Famer.
I mean, with Brady, Deflategate won't affect him at all, I bet. I mean, maybe a vote
here. No, he has 7 rings. Yeah, that's what.
Well, yeah, but
and then went somewhere else and won another ring.
Belichick had 6.
I know.
So that's why he's not first ballot.
Right,
you needed that other one. You needed that other one somewhere else.
Right. But to me, if you have multiple Super Bowls, you're probably a Hall of Famer as far as especially the coach or the quarterback. But we'll see. All right, Lauren's Lane on the other side. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Green Law Group.
For the insured.
Fighting for you. Every tackle, basket, and crack of the bat. Your radio home for play-by-play is 1010XL.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more. at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here from Helmets and Heels. Valentine's Day is next weekend. Make sure you head to the premium spot this holiday, your neighborhood chocolatier, Peterbrook. Chocolatier, quality ingredients from truffles and hand-dipped strawberries to my personal favorite, chocolate-covered popcorn. And of course, custom gift baskets. Head over to peterbrook.com to order today or head over to one of their 15 locations. Peterbrook Chocolatier, celebrating 40 years of chocolate.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Helmets and Heels Friday
is brightened by Bowden Iron Associates.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 6, 2005, the New England Patriots defeated the Philadelphia Eagles 24-21 in Super Bowl 39. That was held right here in Jacksonville, Florida.
Attention men and women, if you'd like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Give a unique gift this Valentine's Day to that special person in your life with a custom-made candle or body care product from Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Hi, I'm Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Nikki Sema. My dad started in business when I was just 4 years old, and now we're 35 years and 20,000 satisfied customers in, and literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you're looking to revitalize your home with new flooring or need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites and don't forget to stop by our showrooms during our open house and cookout this Saturday from 10 to 3. Come see affordable luxury, experience a lifetime difference, and receive additional open house discounts.
I'm with Trevor Cycles at Jacksonville, and the fall part of the year just offers so much fun, especially when you're out and about. Tell everybody what's happening with Triumph right now.
They have got a lot of new models on the road, from Scrambler 400s. They've got the legendary Rocket motorcycle. Lots of really cool bikes to choose from.
And the price point and all the tricks that come with the Triumph bike, they're all there.
They're all there. Entry level to the greatest of the great. We've got them.
Look for them online, cyclesofjacksonville.com. Check out their Facebook page or that showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
San Jose Collision in Mandarin is proud to be an I-CAR Gold Class collision repair facility. That means they meet the industry's highest training standards. Experience the difference at San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Does your band ever do this one?
No.
In the end, right?
No. I read where Phil's got some cognitive things going on.
No.
Yeah. You know, and I never put together that Lily Collins was his daughter, the famous actress. Do you know who she is?
I don't.
Whatever happens in Paris or something like that. My
Okay.
girls love that stuff. I'm a girl dad. So
Oh, I love her. Yeah,
talking
Emily
about?
in Paris.
Yeah, Emily in Paris.
Mhm,
Yeah, that's
okay.
Phil Collins' daughter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Yeah. Yeah, but he was, man, what a great artist. Playing drums,
Mhm.
Genesis, way back in the day.
Yep. If you can sing, be the lead singer and play the drums,
Oh,
that's
and his
you're
pitch
talented.
is so high. Like, man,
Yeah.
it's hard. That would,
I do feel like, and this is going to be completely wrong, but I feel like 80s singers their voices, like their octaves were high for males. Like their octaves were higher than
the hair bands were for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, think of like Sebastian Bach, man. That guy could belt it out. The guy from Iron Maiden was like an operatic type singer. I mean, it was just unbelievable the way they could get up there. But yeah, there was, I don't know. I think every, maybe genre has that, but it felt more like not stadium rock. What am I thinking of? Like arena rock, like that kind of, long-winded, that kind of stuff. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
That is definitely operatic.
Yes.
If that's how you say that word.
Operatic.
Yeah.
There you
I'll
go.
roll
See,
with
I
it.
had a thought.
All right, time now for Lauren's Lane.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
Is this when Lauren talks about something related to the University of Florida?
Probably.
Yes. It is time tonight, 9 p.m. I hope you have two televisions.
Gymnastics.
Because we have two phenomenal gymnastics meets for you. There's some other good gymnastics on at 7, but I'm not as concerned about that. At 9 o'clock tonight, you have Florida at Missouri. Florida is ranked 2nd in the country. Missouri is ranked 7th in the country. We know road meets are difficult because the other team can play their music while your team is on beam. So our beam athletes are used to their own music. They don't get to pick it in road meets. The other team, the other gym basically gets to play whatever music they want.
You
to try
can't
and trip them up.
You can't wear your AirPods.
No AirPods.
Oh,
so like teams will play, for instance, like the Macarena.
Yeah.
Well, your
Just to
beam
throw it off.
routine is
Yeah.
never going to be set to the beat of the Macarena, obviously.
I didn't know the
Me
beam
either.
came
That's-
with music. I thought it was just the floor.
No, the beam
Really?
comes with music.
I didn't
You get
know
to
that.
choose your own at home, but on the road meets, they get to pick. So to try and obviously trip you up. See, you guys love when I
did
talk
not know that.
gymnastics.
Yeah.
And then also at 9 o'clock tonight, we have number 4 Alabama at number 1 Oklahoma. Again, next week, Florida takes on Oklahoma. Florida plays host to
I
Oklahoma
remember you saying
in that meet. Number 1 versus number 2, at least that's how they're ranked right now.
Yeah.
So with gymnastics, the rankings are super easy. And gymnastics as a sport is very subjective, right? The judges get to determine your score. But the sport as a whole then is not as subjective. Or the rankings aren't, I should say. Your rankings are literally just your scores averaged. So, like I said, the scores themselves are subjective based off of the judges. But once those are decided, you don't have people just sitting around being like, who do I think is better? Like we do with every other sport.
Yeah.
You literally are what your score is. And so, super excited about gymnastics tonight, if you can't tell.
There was a great gymnastics movie with Wade Gretzky's wife in it in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was wicked hot. So I remember watching that movie. But yeah, it's funny. I was in Radio Row, like getting my credentials one year, and I want to. It wasn't Simone.
American Anthem.
American Anthem. Yeah. It was one of the U.S. gymnasts, or had been. She was retired, and she was tiny. I mean, tiny.
Tara Lipinski?
No, it was a black girl. It wasn't who did I just say? It wasn't Simone. It was
she is little though, like
just
short,
tiny, or maybe it was. I can't remember.
She's
famous.
tiny.
She was really famous, really nice, really sweet girl. But she was
Gabby
like
Douglas?
4'11". It
Yeah.
was Gabby Douglas. Yeah, she was a little thing, but a really nice girl. But
I mean,
man,
typically, the
gotta
best gymnasts are much shorter because their bones pretty much stop growing because of all the pounding that they do.
Well, and if you're long, you can't do all those twists.
Yeah,
and
you'll
stuff.
occasionally
Aerodynamics you
have.
need.
Yeah,
You
some of
whack your
the
face
taller
on the ground.
gymnasts are able to do bars and floor. They can do those,
Okay.
but typically vault or your best ones are going to be shorter, and then beam. Yeah, because your lower gravity, obviously, on the beam certainly helps. And then in the world of local college basketball, UNF beat West Georgia last night, so important
right,
victory for the
nice,
Ospreys, 81-73. UNF is at Queens tomorrow, tipping off at 4 o'clock. Unfortunately, JU lost to Queens last night, 93-84. Certainly scored a lot more though than this past weekend. And then JU is at West Georgia. You can hear that game tomorrow with pregame coverage beginning at 1:45. Tip is at 2 o'clock, and then you can hear Florida at Texas A&M. Pregame coverage beginning at 8. The game tips off at 8:30. I have to wait until 8:30 tomorrow night. I have to wait till 9 o'clock tonight for gymnastics and 8:30 tomorrow night for my
for
men's
the top
basketball.
of the SEC battle. Too.
That is correct.
Well,
Who is going to emerge out of Aggie Land as number one?
We turn on the Olympics at all?
Absolutely.
And tonight opening ceremony?
Yes, they're actually going on right now in
Okay.
Italy.
We were talking about Lindsey Vonn. Did you see her going down the hill like
Oh, I didn't see her
practicing?
going down the hill now.
Holy
Earlier
cow.
today, she was able to do. They called it an aggressive downhill run.
Yeah.
Even though she tore that Achilles.
Yeah.
Or no,
ACL, yeah.
I don't think she'd be able to do it if she tore the Achilles.
Now there's people on Twitter that think it was all a hoax.
Oh,
I'm
good
seeing
grief.
You
that.
see her wipe out, go ahead and
Conspiracy
wipe out going that fast on a hill.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
luck.
Yeah,
luck.
I literally could never. I've snowboarded before, and just going down the bunny slope was terrifying, and I fell a lot.
Yeah, I've never even tried. It looks scary to me.
I think that's one of those sports. The earlier you learn, like whether it's skateboarding, surfing, snowboarding, skiing, the earlier you learn that at a younger age, the better you are because you're not as afraid, and you're also not going to break your bones.
Right.
The older you are,
I have a longboard
brittle
skateboard.
bones. Yeah?
I love that thing, man. You can cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Our top of our street's got a nice little grade.
yeah.
So we play this little game, like who can make the turn, a
Okay.
full circle inside the gutters.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
Do you wear a helmet?
No.
Okay.
No, and I've almost wiped out.
One will fit.
Thanks, Taylor. No, there's not many helmets that would fit this.
A football helmet fit you just
That's
fine.
true. Yeah,
Wear a
yeah.
football helmet.
Yeah.
We got to protect
Going
that
down the
brain.
hill with his Jack's
I'm
helmet
good.
on.
I'll put
So
my
you,
hands
so
down.
you can have more thoughts, okay? This is the daughter of a speech pathologist who literally every single time anyone got in any sort of vehicle, bicycle, helmet, seatbelt, whatever it was, always protected. All right, picks are on the other side. We're going to make our Super Bowl predictions and give some prop bets. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group.
You can always tell which ones were captured in the wild by the look in their eyes. The Wildcat.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Tara Lagaman for Local Fair Jacks. It's our go-to for local produce, eggs, and meat. You pick exactly what you want each week online, straight from local farmers. And knowing where your food comes from matters. Visit localfairjacks.com.
Bowden Iron Associates.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com.
Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Every day is game day on Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony break it down from every angle. Roster moves, matchups, league trends, and the pulse of Duval. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, custom windows and doors. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Dr. George Barry, your local orthopedic surgeon. In the wintertime here in Jacksonville, it does get pretty cold, and sometimes you wake up with aches and pains in your shoulders and knees. Don't forget to stretch and stay mobilized so these joints don't stiffen up. And if that doesn't work, you can see us at Barry Orthopedics, where we can give you the treatment that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Barry and the entire staff at BarryOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Pickett here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra at Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you ready for another historic season at the bank? It's time to lock in your seats for 2026 by placing your deposit now. Next season will be played at Everbank Stadium, but seating capacity is limited due to in-bowl renovations, and spots are going fast. Don't miss out on your chance to see the season's biggest matchups and highlight real moments by placing your deposit at jaguars.com/tickets or by calling 904-633-2000. Go Jags!
It all begins with Speed Weeks, presented by Advent Health, February 11th, and culminates with a Daytona 500 on February 15th. This week, you can win a pair of tickets to the Daytona 500. What driver won the 2025 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name to 641-1010. What driver won the 2025 Daytona 500? Text the driver's last name answer to 641-1010 for a chance to win tickets to the Daytona 500, February 15th.
Finding the perfect romantic gift she'll treasure forever? It's easier than you think at Beard's Diamonds this Valentine's Day. We've curated a stunning selection of timeless, affordable jewelry she'll absolutely love. Dazzling rings, sparkling earrings, elegant pendants and bracelets, set with brilliant diamonds or colorful gemstones. Classic gold that never goes out of style. And you can't beat the wow factor of top brand designer jewelry. At Beard's, we've got it all under one roof. And right now, we're cranking up the romance with an unbeatable limited time offer. Save up to 40% on all diamond stud earrings, pendants, and tennis bracelets. Imagine her face lighting up when she opens that signature Beards box on February 14th. Pure magic that lasts a lifetime. Guys, cards, flowers, and candy are sweet, but nothing says I love you forever like a sparkling gift she'll wear and cherish every single day. And that gift is on major sale right now. Plus, Beards is your local Jacksonville jeweler, family owned and community strong for over 45 years. Right here in the St. John's Town Center. Not some Wall Street chain. We're your neighbors, and we're here for you. Hurry in today. Don't wait. Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update. I'm RJ Saunders for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Coen Flowers. Free agent guard Javon Carter has agreed to a deal with the Orlando Magic for the rest of the season. Carter shot 41% from three-point range with the Bulls this season. To the NFL we go. Trevor Lawrence loses out on one of the league's top awards. 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey has been named the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year. Right now, 60 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and Temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Just open up like a page in a book. If these words that I'm writing won't be misunderstood. If I'm dishonest, bring me back to my knees. Show me what
All right, Taylor, who is this?
So this is Sleeping with Sirens is the name. Kellen Quinn is the singer, but when we were talking about high vocal ranges, this man can, I mean, he sings high almost all the time. That's just like his voice, but there's some songs where you're like, whoa, that's incredible. But he actually, a few years ago, because you know you can do the... I can't think of what it's called, but you can get people to like send happy birthday wishes and stuff like that. I can't think of the website right now.
Fuzio or something like that, right? Fuzzio or something like that.
I don't know. It begin with a C.
I can't remember. Anyways, what that is, one of my best friends got Kellen Quinn to sing happy birthday on one of the Cameo. That's what it is.
I knew it began with a C.
Yeah. But so that was really cool. But yeah, his voice is insane. Some of the octaves he can reach when he's singing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I thought that was
and
Paramore.
then scream 1 second later.
It sounded like Paramore for a minute.
That has the same. It's the same like
beat
that
almost.
Era of music. Like Paramore and Sleeping with Sirens both got big like around the same time. Yeah. So
do they have the ones that scream a lot? Do they have vocal cord issues? Again,
if they scream wrong, there's right ways to scream. And I don't know how to do that, but the ones that do, I do not know. But like the ones that do it, like this is now 20 years of screaming and singing, and he's never had any. But then you've heard other ones, like there's a band, Bring Me the Horizon, and Oliver Sykes had a lot of issues. Like he's torn his vocal cords and had to have surgery and stuff like that. So if you do it right, you can protect them pretty well. Because the worst thing, honestly, for your vocal cords is actually whispering.
Correct.
That's the worst thing you can do for your vocal cords. And so I remember, like, in chorus and stuff, they'd always be like, okay, if you're, like, starting to get scratchy, don't whisper. Because people kind of want to do that to try and save your voice. And that's 1,000 times worse than even, like, yelling.
Yeah, I did know that. I know, like, for me going out in Nashville, like, the first night I'm fine singing along with all the music. And then by the second night, my voice is already scratchy. And I'm like, and then I have to lip sync to your point.
Maybe Liam was singing out there in San Fran.
Maybe he has some karaoke
going. All those interviews.
I saw he's dressed in like a Louis Vuitton outfit, and so of course they asked him about his fashion. He's like, "My wife
did
dressed
this."
to me."
Yeah, of course. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we do have time for picks right here, right now, and the standings sound or look like this. I should say. Taylor Dahl is in first place. She has 9 points for the month of January.
Taylor.
now we're going into February, but same difference. We're lumping them all together. And then Tom has 5 points, and that's the second place. And then I only have 4 points. So I'm 1 point behind Tom, and I'm 5 points behind Taylor. So I am not going to win. I can tell you that much.
But we're fighting to not lose.
That is correct. We care about.
Listen to you. You be crying over there.
I've lost
Missy.
months, okay? You have not lost a month yet.
Yeah, you haven't lost yet. And I don't think you do nearly as much research as the two of us
Yes,
do.
I do.
In college football?
No, I don't.
That is what I expected
Lauren,
to hear.
you definitely do the most research.
I
That's
definitely do
probably
the
your
most
problem as you overthink it.
Also true. Well, I'm not overthinking this one when it
Good.
comes to the Super Bowl. I'm going with the Seahawks. I believe it's going to be a good game until probably like the fourth quarter. I think the Seahawks are able to run away with it and not really run the football necessarily, but find Jackson Smith and Jigba for probably over 100 yards in this game.
Are we doing with points or without points? You don't
With
care?
points, yeah. So the Seahawks, last I checked, 4.5 point favorites. So I've got the Seahawks. I think they win by probably like a touchdown.
Okay.
Who you got, Tom?
Ladies first.
Okay, I'm going Seattle too. I mean, I've said for the last couple weeks, I think Seattle wins by 10 at least. I do think it'll be close for the first half, and then I just think that Seattle's defense is going to be too much. The weapons, when you talk about the speed of Shaheed, and you talk about what Cooper Kupp and then JSN, and then what they can do in the run game, I just think it's gonna be a long fourth quarter for the Patriots.
And I guess they could double team JSN or put Christian Gonzalez on JSN and things like that. But I think the Seahawks have enough weapons to be able to spread the ball. But you like?
I like the Pats.
Yeah.
I take the points. I'll pick them to win too, just to be on the other side. But I'll take New England and the points. Look, I think they're hitting it at the right time. I think their defense is playing really well. I'm concerned about their offensive line, but the weather will be great, so they should be fine. No, I'm kidding. But, I think Drake May's going to have a game. Not like a massive game, but better than he's been playing. I think they'll find a way to run the ball. I do. Look, they were great all season long. And really the Rams, like our one guest said, was really the ones that did any damage. And it wasn't a lot. It really was. I mean, Kyron Williams had 91 yards the first time around. Neither one, Corum or him, did anything the second time. And then the third time, Corum had like 65 yards. So it wasn't a big thing. However, I'll say that I think the Pats revived their running game a bit. And I think Drake May has a game, and I think their defense shows up, and I think it's a close game. I think it's 21-18.
21-18?
The New England Patriots. I don't care if, I'll tell you a thing, if I may. I know a lot of people were bagging on the schedule of the Pats, so I went through both. The Pats played 2 playoff teams. Seattle played 4. The other ones in between, they're about equal, as far as who they beat, when they beat them, how they beat them, and it's pretty tight. So it's not like, I know everyone's like, 14-3, they're a lot. No, it's not as far out as you think it is, or at least on paper. Anything can happen on Sunday. We do know that, especially in the Super Bowl. But I think
the
New
Seahawks
England had
division,
stuff.
though, was way harder than the Pats division.
What's that?
The Seahawks division was certainly
The division
much
was,
tougher.
yeah,
and then
but
postseason offenses they faced.
yeah. I mean, look, Arizona, they gave them a hard time once, and then they crushed them another time.
Right. But the Dolphins and the Jets.
Yeah,
Right.
but so what? They handled them. I mean, and I do think there's something to how do you beat them?
Yeah.
I mean, I could sit there and be like, yeah, okay, well, Seattle lost to Tampa, but New England beat Tampa. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come Sunday, it doesn't mean anything.
No,
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a little bit tighter, but hey, I just hope for a good game. I don't want a blowout because then I'll stop watching and then I'll be like, whatever.
And this is when it comes to football.
Yeah,
No, I
this is
know.
all we get
I
for a
want it to go to the
until
end.
July and training camp for us, and then
Yeah.
real games in August.
Let me
So
ask you this: are you going to give Bad Bunny a shot?
I'll watch the whole thing. Yeah.
It'll be on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll sit there and
honestly-
watch him. I'll probably go take a
I
break
don't
for a
pay
minute.
as much of attention to the commercials. That part does not
Right.
excite me. I can look at the best commercials tomorrow online.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the game, and then I'll watch halftime.
Commercials is when I talk,
Right.
like
Yeah.
to people.
That's when I get my snacks.
Yeah. Get a drink.
Refill
or
my
whatever.
my plate. go
There's
to
a
the
lot to
bathroom.
do in those commercials.
Yeah,
All right,
for
let's
sure.
run through our prop bets. Taylor, give me all 3 of yours.
Okay, so I have Kenneth Walker over 22.5 receiving yards. I have Sam Darnold.
The running back over
Running
22.5
back.
receiving yards. All
Yep.
right.
Sam Darnold over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
Caleb on over a half a sack.
Oh, he killed me when
I
I
know.
had that.
You said 1.5 for Darnold?
Yes.
So that's my 3 normal props,
Yep,
and then we
okay.
each have our just other things.
Yeah, Tom, your 3 player props.
My 3 player props. Let's see.
Did you make them up? Okay.
No,
you
I
did
did.
research this time.
I did. I went from. All right. So there, for the record, Are we doing the Hard Rock? Because DraftKings was different.
You can do whatever you like.
Whatever.
Okay, so
But we love Hard Rock around these parts.
okay, so I'll do this one. It revolves around Rashid Shaheed. So
Okay.
Hard Rock had him it was crazy, 6 or more yards rushing. Or I like this one, 40 yards rushing and receiving. He'll have at least 40 yards
total.
rushing and
Okay.
receiving. So that'll
Over
be
40
one of
yards
mine.
rushing and
if I can I can have that. I'm going to say Drake May rushes for more than 40 yards.
Okay.
That's another one. And
So 40 yards for Rashid Shaheed and 40 yards for Drake May.
correct.
All right.
Okay. Can I get one more?
Yep.
I'm going to say I think Travion Henderson's going to have a big day. I don't know how big, but he'll have more than 25 rush yards.
Rushing yards.
Okay.
And that's funny because I have Travion Henderson. Obviously, I looked at a different one, and mine was 18 and a half rushing yards.
Okay. Yeah, that's
So-
you should get that in one.
I'll give
One
you the
shot.
same as mine then.
Okay.
Since it's a little easier.
Yeah.
So
Whatever.
I had Travion Henderson over 18 and a half rushing yards. And so
I can change. I got
no,
one
you're
more.
good.
Okay.
You're good. And then my other two, Jackson Smith and Jigba, over 6.5 receptions. I didn't go with yards, but I went with receptions, over 6.5 receptions. And then I have Drake May over 6.5 rush attempts. The reason I thought it was interesting, both of yours were 40, because
Yeah.
two of mine were 6.5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Drake May, if the Patriots offense gets a little bit behind, he's going to try and get it, the first downs with his legs.
Yeah.
Even though, yes, if they get behind, he's going to have to throw. But
Yeah.
still, he's going to, at times, maybe feel a little bit desperate and have to get those
If
yards
they
in.
get after him, like everyone
Right,
thinks they're
he's
gonna,
gonna take off.
he's gonna be running for
So
his
yeah,
life.
6.5 didn't seem like a lot to me, but Vegas knows better. And then our fun props, Taylor, you can go first.
Yeah, I have a non-quarterback makes a pass attempt.
I love that. Non-quarterback pass attempt. Tom?
Non-quarterback.
It doesn't have to be completed.
that is important to know for this
Yeah.
promo.
You go next.
All right. Mine is the longest field goal made will be over 50 and a half yards.
Okay.
Both of these kickers are talented when
Yeah.
it comes to over 50. So I've
Okay,
got
I'm
that.
gonna. Hey, RJ, can I take yours from today? Because I missed this part of the.
It was
the
in our group
assignment.
chat. Can you read your text messages?
I read the beginning of them, but something happens. So let's see. Seattle will score a 1-yard passing touchdown. From the 1, they'll score
Okay.
a touchdown, but through the air, not running.
Okay.
Seattle 1-yard passing touchdown. All right. Sounds like a plan.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, let's say hello to Dave Wyman, former linebacker for the Seahawks. So when we return, keep it right here. Helmets and Heels 1010X on 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Bought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL. The radio station built in Jacksonville for Jacksonville. 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnik's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnikChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnik has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
It's a Helmets and Heels Friday, checked by Bowden Iron Associates.
Frank Frangie here. Bono's Pit Barbecue has been serving up legendary barbecue on the First Coast for over 75 years. And right now, Bono's has a smoking deal for you. For just $12.49, you'll get Bono's signature pulled pork sandwich, a side, and a drink. But hurry, Duval. This pig deal is for a limited time only. With 18 Bonos around town, there's always one near you. And if you want the best catering, call 904-332-RIBS. That's 904-332-7427. Or online at bonosbarbecue.com. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Strong in the classroom, gifted on the field.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes. Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Activated by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
It's a blizzard of big wins at Best Bet Jacksonville. The Best Bet Blizzard on the Beach Poker Series is heating up February 5th to the 16th with 10 tournament events, Best Bet live stream feature and final tables, and $600,000 in guarantees. It's cold outside, but the tables are hot inside Best Bet, with satellites taking place daily into the $1,700 Mystery Bounty main event. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hello, I'm Ed Jackson, president of Ned Jackson Income Tax. Ned Jackson Income Tax has been preparing tax returns in Jacksonville for over 80 years. Our tax preparers at Ned Jackson Income Tax have years of knowledge and experience to help you get your highest possible tax refund and are fully trained on all IRS updates, including the One Big Beautiful Bill. Visit one of Ned Jackson's 4 locations, including our downtown office at 255 North Liberty Street. That's Ned Jackson Income Tax, 356-0349.
Hey, it's Taylor. Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. Don't fall into the same routine of last-minute grocery store runs, picked-over flowers, and forgettable chocolates. Make a new play this year with a gift from Peterbrook Chocolatier. Choose from beautifully crafted artisan chocolates or a gift basket filled with the perfect mix of sweet, salty, crunchy, and creamy treats. With 15 North Florida locations, you likely drove past one today. Up your game this Valentine's Day with a gift that truly impresses. Find your closest location at peterbrook.com. That's peterbrook.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. You hear about guarantees and warranties. What is Underwood's policy?
Frank, to talk about guarantees and warranties, you have to look at our history of over 70 years in business. Underwood's entire reason for existence is and has been to offer fine products that'll be used with such satisfaction that both the giver and the receiver will want to come back, and hopefully they'll tell their friends about us. To do this means we've got to try our hardest to satisfy every customer. All of our people understand that. Now, I'm sure over the years we've made a few mistakes, but we've never failed to make good on any Underwood product that was returned with a legitimate customer complaint. Our entire reputation would mean nothing if we didn't conduct ourselves that way. Simply put, conducting our business with integrity is a lot more important to Underwoods and our customers than all the guarantees, warranties, and contrived legal obligations in the world. And you've got Underwood's word, my word, and all of our people's word on that.
Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
All right, continued Super Bowl 60 talk here on Helmets and Heels with Taylor Dahl and Lauren Brooks. We got a great guest, a return guest, Dave Wyman, former NFL linebacker and current analyst with the Seahawks Radio Network. Dave, thanks for taking the time and welcome back to Helmets and Heels in Jacksonville.
Yeah, happy to be on with you guys. And just so you know, in my office pool, I picked the Jaguars going to the Super Bowl. So,
so did we.
We did also.
Came up a little bit short. Hey,
I actually had Jags Seattle, actually.
Yeah,
That
that's
was my
right.
guess.
That's right.
And
No
you
doubt.
put money on the Jags in Vegas.
That's right, I did. No doubt about that. Dave, I know that there's a lot of obviously great hype, well-deserved. Sam Darnold, Mike McDonald, the whole likes of it. But let's start with John Schneider, the GM, man. He's done a fantastic job. I know you're a big fan of his and what he's been able to do, but one thing that's been steady in Seattle over the past decade and a half has been John Schneider.
yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, and I think he's really coming into his own now because, you know, I think people forget that, like, Pete got hired first. And so Pete, back in, 2010, he hired John Schneider. And so, once Jody decided to move on from Pete Carroll, then, she put all of her trust and faith into John. And John has just had an amazing year. I mean, you look at some of these signings, like I forget that DeMarcus Lawrence wasn't here last year. I mean, he has just been a phenomenal force on this defense. And so everything from that to Nicky Manwari to Gray Zabel is just a solid. I mean, they drafted some great kids. And, over the last few years, getting, like Big Cat Leonard Williams, I mean, he's just been crushing it. So I love that he got Executive of the Year, and he's one of my favorite people. He's just a great dude, a good friend, and a guy that just knows football inside and out. He just has like a weird little knack, of knowing who can play and who can't. He really, it's amazing the hit rate that he has and what he sees in certain players. And now he's got somebody, it's kind of the upstairs, downstairs thing. There was kind of a disconnect between, I think, for a while there, between the coaches and the staff, the scouting staff and the GM and everything. And now they're very closely united with Mike Macdonald here.
Does it feel like Mike Macdonald is like the least well-known head coach in a Super Bowl for a long time?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, this is his second year as a head coach. He's 38, 39 years old. Like, he's as old as my son. It's just, it's amazing. That I think, it's kind of interesting. We were talking about this on our radio show that, you either get like the CEO coach, like kind of like Pete became. At first, he was like very involved in the defense, and then he kind of stepped away. And you get those kind of coaches, and then you get these specialists, like an offensive specialist like Kyle Shanahan or Sean McVay. And now you got Mike Macdonald. It's kind of interesting. And, those guys are calling offenses, and, Mike's calling the defense. And so, yeah, it's kind of an interesting, way of looking at it. And I feel like that's kind of the trend. It's a copycat league that, people are going to, go and get, these guys that are like these sort of nerd experts. But Mike has more than that. He really does. He really connects well with the team. And a lot of the guys will kind of rib him about being awkward and, kind of corny and like making dad jokes and stuff like that. And so he really, he really does connect with these guys. He's not just a defensive nerd.
We love the nerds, though. We love them. Sometimes the analytical stuff bugs us a little bit. But Dave, let's talk about the Seahawks defense. They've just been absolutely vicious this year from start to finish. Several pieces of it making kind of all of that click, including a McDonald. But what do you feel is that puzzle piece that kind of has tied everything together? Who would be that puzzle piece that's kind of tied everything together for that defense this year?
You know what? We ask that question a lot, and it always comes up pretty much Ernest Jones. Mm-hmm. Ernest Jones, the inside backer. I mean, he's got 6 interceptions, and including the playoffs, and it's just amazing. He just made things click. And this was kind of eerie. Like, okay, so last year in 2024, the defense just wasn't good. I mean, up until like halfway through. So then they got rid of both the inside backers, Dodson and Baker, traded one, cut one, and brought in Ernest Jones. And then within 2 weeks, this was a top 5 defense. And yeah, it was just, it was amazing what he brought to this defense, and, how that was just the right, and this is a kind of a weird Schneider thing, right? Like, he just saw, he knew exactly what Mike wanted at that, position. And they brought him in, and he's pretty much brought everything together. And, middle linebacker usually calls the huddle and everything anyway, but, he's kind of the connection between the DBs and the defensive line. He's playing in the middle, and he is just an amazing, and I think he just turned 26.
Yeah.
But he seems like a guy who's like 35, that's been in the league like 10 to 12 years when you talk to him. And he's kind of been the key that has pretty much brought that whole thing. And I would say going into this year also, DeMarcus Lawrence definitely deserves a shout out. He is kind of they call it logic, because they call him D-Law. And like, he'll like do like weird things on the field and be right. Like, he'll like, and the players will be like, "Why'd you go this way?" He's like, "I don't know, man. I just had a feeling."
I felt
there
it.
he goes, makes a play.
Hey,
So
that's
yeah,
great.
That's another one I think that really helps bring them together. But yeah, Ernest Jones definitely is the key.
Yeah, 2 great players there, no doubt. Dave Wyman here with us once again from the Seahawks Radio Network. All right, Dave, I got to be honest. I'm the only one in the room that picked the Patriots to win this ballgame. The ladies here think it'll be a pretty good margin when it's all said and done in favor of the Seahawks. What concerns you about the Pats? And even better, like, what do you think concerns the Seahawks about the Patriots as they enter Super Bowl 60?
Yeah, I mean, I really like their receivers, and I like Drake May a lot. And so I think the one thing that worries me, because, if you go and look, and we talk about how great our defense is and everything, and it is, but those Ram games, man, I mean, the last 2 Ram games, they put up over 1,000 yards on our defense and like 63, 64 points. So, if one of those guys, if they can figure something out, like figure out what Puka Nacua did, my God.
Yeah.
I mean, he had like 275 yards in the first meeting and over 100 the last time. If they're able to, figure that out, I think Drake May is a really good quarterback. I love him. I love the way they've developed him and everything. He's a big, strong guy, 3rd leading rusher. So, yeah, I mean, that would be the one thing I think where I could see them possibly, I don't want to say lose because I don't want to go on record saying that, but make it a tight game. Okay. How about that?
There you go.
I like it.
Well, think about this. The Seahawks faced the guy who won the MVP 3 times this year, in Matt Stafford. The guy who's going to finish or did finish second, they're going to face on Sunday in the Super Bowl. They didn't face Josh Allen, but they faced Christian McCaffrey 3 times, who was also in the MVP race, and beat Trevor Lawrence, who was also in the MVP race. So if anybody understands what it's like to play a guy that's really good, like you said, in Drake May, I feel like the Seahawks are ready for it.
Well, thank you for that. You know what? I'm going to use that on my show.
You're most welcome.
That is awesome. Yeah. No, I mean, it is. And I have ultimate trust that Mike McDonald will figure things out. I think, if you're an opposing offensive line, you're like, who do we double team? I mean, and how do we double team them? Because they have up front, Byron Murphy, man, his teammates talk about him like this guy is the strongest man in the world. And, he takes on, and then you got Leonard Williams, and then you got Jaron Reed and, DeMarcus Lawrence. So, I mean, I think, that's what I always think about when I think about the Seahawks defense. I think of that D-line, how deep they are there. They got Uchenna coming off the edge, Derek Hall, Boye Mafe. I mean, they just have so many good answers on their defensive line. I just, I think that's going to be kind of where the game is won and lost.
Dave, one of the news pieces of news, obviously, that came out this week is with Emmanuel, who you talked about a little bit ago, that ankle injury. We all saw the video on Twitter of him limping into the hotel. He says he's good and he's ready to go. So thoughts on that first, just where he sits with that injury. But if he's not 100, what do you expect when it comes to if they have to be in that 3-corner with the 3 corners out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to limit their dynamic defense because, like, when he's in there, it's like we're in nickel, basically, as far as personnel. And when you send in a nickel guy, it's like we're in dime because he just is so versatile and he can do anything on. So, but, I think if you would have said, hey, he's going to hurt something, I would have said make it an ankle because, I had tons of times where I twisted my ankle. If you get the swelling out, you can pack it up, and we got a great training staff. I think he's going to be okay. And listening to him yesterday, this kid's unbelievably mature. I mean, he speaks like a 35-year-old as well, and he was very positive about it. And so I think it's going to be okay. But I know the question you asked, like, if they don't have him, then it's just going to cut down the versatility that they're going to have on defense. But they had a guy named Ty Okada come in there and play really well. He's a backup at safety. He's not going to take on any blocks or anything, but he's a good player, and they'll just have to go with kind of a lighter package on defense. So, yeah, it'll be a big bummer if they don't have him, which is weird to say about a rookie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like our defense might be compromised because of a rookie not playing. That's amazing.
If Travis Hunter had stayed healthy, we probably would have been saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Dave, what kind of who do you look at with Seattle, and who made the X factor be? Look, we mentioned John Schneider, the GM, earlier. That trade he made with New Orleans to get Rashid Shaheed was just incredible to pull that off. I think he's going to play a big part in Sunday. But what do you say?
No, I agree with you. And here's why. And I've said I think the edge is special teams. Now, you look at the Patriots, they have a couple of kickoff returns. They got a punt return like we do. Yep. I think we're both one of the 6 teams that have had, a punt return for a touchdown and I think 2 kickoff returns for a touchdown. But Anyway, yeah, I mean, our special teams are incredible. And so I doubt that New England will punt to Rashid Shaheed. I was surprised when the Rams did it, and we made that wild comeback on Thursday night. So, maybe he won't get a chance, but I think he will on kickoff. And he is, I think he is kind of the X factor and just special teams in general. I mean, they've scored 6 touchdowns. Well, I think it's 7 with the playoff game against the 49ers. But, I mean, they recovered a fumble in the end zone. George Halani did in week 2 against Pittsburgh because the Steelers didn't know the rules, and we did. And we've blocked a punt, we've blocked a kick. Nicky Manwari blocked a kick in Atlanta. I mean, they have gotten all kinds of production out of their special teams. And Jay Harbaugh just has done an incredible job with them. And I don't remember being around a team that had better special teams than the Seahawks. So I'm with you on that one. And Rashid Shaheed could, be the X factor.
And make himself even more money. As far as the R word, revenge, we haven't talked about that much on our show just because we're not as close, right, to Seattle. But I would think that that's been a word that's been used a lot this week.
Yeah. And he was part of that play against the Patriots. He was a receiver. And by the way, that was maybe one of the worst days of my life, which maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a good thing that I've had a pretty good life.
Glass half full.
So sorry for your Super Bowl loss.
And I think a lot of Seahawks fans are that way. I mean, they just stopped listening. They didn't want to hear anything. If we'd been on the East Coast, but the personality in Seattle was like nobody wanted to talk about it, didn't want to hear about it. They didn't want to hear anything about why they threw it there. It was just like they just tuned out. We had the worst ratings ever. And it was just a bad day. But, I haven't heard anybody really say that until yesterday when Ricardo Lockett, we had him on, and he was one of the guys that I think he was the target on that. He was a receiver for the Seahawks back then.
Mm-hmm.
And, and he was like, this is absolutely a revenge game. We're going to get some, he's basically indicating that you're going to get some level of atonement from, beating the Patriots. And I was like, oh, okay. There's no Bill Belichick. There's no Tom Brady. There's you get the same owner. So, I think some people do find it to be, it's going to be something that will make things square. But, for the most part, it's kind of, not the same group of guys.
No, definitely not. Well, Dave, we so appreciate your time today. Enjoy the Super Bowl on Sunday. I hope it's not the worst day of your life.
Thank you so much for that. All right. Good talking to you guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Dave.
you. Thank you so much, Dave Wyman, former linebacker for the Seahawks and current radio analyst
Yeah.
for them. And look, I understand one of the worst days of many Jags fans' lives was the loss in the AFC Championship game both times, right? Either time. It
stings every time.
It really, really does. You got that right. All right, the golden moment awaits. Keep it right here. Helmets and Heels, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels.
Backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL. Your home for Gators Hoops is 1010XL.
Florida's front court is on fire as they bring the heat to the hardwood at Texas A&M. Gators Aggies. Tomorrow at 8 on 1010XL.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Bowden Iron Associates.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Checkmate. I'm Brendan Cecilia, founder of Checkmate Coatings.
And I'm Chester, company mascot at your service.
There are 2 important steps to installing the perfect garage floor. The 2-stage coating application, sure, but nothing is more important than preparing the floor. Our team uses diamond grinding machines to grind your floors to a smooth, level finish. Only then can we...
Hold on! You grind garage floors with perfectly lovely diamonds?
No, Chester. We grind floors to perfection using the very best ugly diamonds Too ugly for jewelry, but perfect for the grinding pads we use to prep the surface.
Perfect preparation and application. Now that's a perfect marriage.
Ugly diamonds?
Check. Perfect preparation?
Check. Smooth, gorgeous gleaming floors that really catch your eye? Checkmate!
Transforming your floors, making them great. Checkmate.
Visit checkmatecoatings.com.
Frank Frangie here, and Big Chief Tire makes it easier than ever to get the tires you need with the Big Chief credit card. No annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations, and right now, $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and get the tires you need today. That's Big Chief Tire.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and this month I want to talk to you about welcoming the winds of change in your life. But so often, when we see the winds of change coming our way, our immediate response is to fight it. Friends, when you see things in your life changing, when the winds of change are coming your way, don't fight it, but embrace it. Recognize that God is stirring you up so that you too can soar like an eagle.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
Jacksonville is the flip side of Florida. And inside the flip side, the action never stops. If you're tired of hearing about the best games after the final whistle, don't get left on the sidelines. Whether it's a unique sporting event you've never seen, a weekend with the family, or a winning date night, Visit Jacksonville is your ultimate playbook. Get in the game. Head to visitjacksonville.com/locals or download the Visit Jacks app today and see everything coming in 2026. Jacksonville. Experience the flip side.
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing the game. Spring and summer registration going on right now. Log on to i9sports.com to see all they've got to offer for kids ages 3 and up. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for spring and summer. Great new locations added like Tofoy Creek High School and Westside Middle. Get your kids in the game with I9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount at i9sports.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Wrapping up some final Super Bowl chat before we get to the game on Sunday. And we were just talking a little bit off air. Tommy, you brought up the question. If the Jags were in this game, what do we think the line would be? How confident would you feel about the team who facing the Seattle Seahawks? And I just feel like, and I'm also different. You picked the Patriots, obviously. I just think I think Seattle's a much better team than anybody right now. I think they're playing their best football. I think they're the most complete football team. And I think that's why they're here, is because they feel like they were just that full puzzle when other teams have felt throughout the playoffs. Pretty much the whole AFC side of the playoffs, it was like defense really good, offenses have sucked is pretty much what it's kind of felt like. And Seattle has both sides to me, and that's what kind of leans me towards just feeling the game is going to be that way. But it would be interesting because you'd be talking about the path the Jags would have had to go down to get to that point, which would be, beating New England and beating a Denver and beating the Bills, obviously. And so how much more confident would you be if you were going into the Super Bowl with those wins under you?
And the Jags won in the stadium, beating the 49ers earlier this year.
Yeah. Well, okay. And I agree with that. But why doesn't New England get the same thing? Because they had a tough run. Their offense wasn't great, but they still went against 4 of the top 10 defenses. They're going to go against the top
because
one.
the quarterback has turned the ball over so many times.
Yeah.
If Drake May had better ball security throughout the postseason, whether in, whether out, just regardless of the weather, then people
still found a way to win.
True, but that's when I think Vegas would say it's a closer game, and I think it'd be closer to pick 'em.
I'm sorry, not Vegas. I meant more like us. Like, would we pick the Jags to beat Seattle? You don't.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
Well, and like I can't even say
It's
that
hard to
because
say
I don't
that.
know
No,
what
I
those
know,
games
I
would have
know,
looked
I
like.
know.
Right.
I'm talking about a New England team that I watched play Stidham and CJ Stroud in his worst NFL game probably ever, and still barely come out of those games.
And the Chargers
that's
without
where
an
my mind
offensive
goes.
line,
Yeah.
basically.
So it's just based on this. It could, if the Jags went in and had ended up beating Buffalo and then beat both those next teams by a couple scores, then that conversation.
Then
New
we
England
would
hasn't been
say-
able to do that in the postseason.
And look, it's hard too because the Jags' two worst games were the games against the Seahawks and the game against the Rams.
Yeah.
Like, those two games were atrocious. Obviously,
Yeah.
the Rams wasn't. We tried to forget, and so it was at that point in the season we thought, all right, well, the Jags are good, but they're not anywhere near the elite.
I think, look, man, it's hard to win in the regular season. It's hard to win in the playoffs. So a win's a win.
Absolutely.
You know, and I mean, look at you could. I mean, we barely beat Denver 30-27 in the playoff game. They could have easily beat us. You know what I mean? Back in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That game could have gone their way. No doubt about it. You know, but we don't look back and say that. We're like, no, we beat them.
Right.
We barely beat them.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it was
would be-
great we beat them, but we barely beat them. Style points don't mean anything. To me, they don't mean anything.
And I
in the
understand
playoffs.
that part. I think it would be fun to have the conversation the last 2 weeks of Liam Coen versus Mike McDonald, and who's
Yeah.
going to get that chess match and who's going to get the better end. But I think our thoughts and feelings are shaped by what we've seen to this point
Yeah.
in the postseason, right? Like I pretty much put the regular season aside once the postseason begins, and so maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should focus more on the fact that Sam Darnold had 20 giveaways in the regular season, and maybe that'll trickle into the Super Bowl when the lights are the brightest. Whereas Drake May took care of the ball in the regular season and then has been sloppy in the postseason. So I think too, it's the whole factor of Seattle has this like edge to them, and while the Patriots, I think under Bill Belichick had that edge, I don't know if they have it yet for me. Like as I look at them, even though Vrabel that is that type of guy,
their
I don't know that they
defense
have it
isn't it.
yet.
But look, the Rams almost beat them. I mean, they could easily won that game. What if the Rams were playing New England? Who would you pick?
The
I'd
Rams.
still pick the Rams.
You pick
Yeah.
the Rams by same margin?
I would. The 4.5, I think, would still be about the same. Honestly,
The odds that I saw before when it was
higher. Actually,
it was higher.
a bigger
Yeah, it was
spread.
I think
they
6.5
expected
for
the Rams to beat
Rams.
them by
Correct.
more than they've had the Seattle
Yeah.
Seahawks. I don't think I would do that. I think Seattle's better than the Rams personally, and that's just eye test.
They proved it.
They
That's
beat
it.
them 3 times.
Yeah, and that's just
That's
the
a
eye test to
test,
me
yeah.
watching football, and that's how I feel like watching the Patriots games and watching Seattle games through these postseasons. I feel like I'm watching a better team watching Seattle. Like that's just kind of where my mind goes.
They're a really good. There's no doubt. I mean, they are an extreme.
And the weather has been a factor, right?
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah,
saw
for
New
both
England,
sides.
right? But we saw New England play through all of that. We haven't seen Seattle play.
No, I
a
mean both
messy-
sides of those games. New
Correct.
England's playing. I mean, they're both going through it. Denver or New England or
right.
Houston
But I
or
mean,
New
the
England.
sloppiness.
I agree.
Like the weather has been a part of it for New England. It hasn't been for this.
And I hope
Seattle.
it's not Sunday. I hope it looks
Yeah.
like it's
No,
going to
it
be
doesn't
clear,
look-
right?
It looks like it's going to
We
be
want a clear
like
night and
true
just a-
Southern California weather.
Yeah, Northern California.
That's what I meant. Yes. Northern
Hope-
California
hope
weather.
that's Southern North.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not Southern California, but
Not
yeah,
yet.
that to me will that's not going to benefit either team,
No.
right? Like Seattle is used to worse conditions than what they're going to see, and New England's used to way worse conditions than
Yeah.
they're going to see too.
Who's going to have the bigger night, Sam Darnold or Drake May?
I mean, that's the question. I think. I think that's one of the bigger. We've talked so much about their defenses, but I think what each of these quarterbacks are going to be able to do against these good defenses, and we've seen Sam and weather involved in all of these other things, but we've seen Sam play better postseason football than we have Drake so far. Drake's, I feel like we've seen him use his legs, and those are some of the things that you'll probably expect. But I think it's going to be that's one of the big questions: can Drake May do what he did regular season? Because if he does, if he pulls Drake May from the regular season and Sam Darnold has postseason Sam Darnold, then you're going to have a QB battle this game. But it depends which of those versions we're seeing of each quarterback.
And if they can't protect Drake,
correct.
Which
they
if
won't
Will
win. They will
Campbell
not
has
win.
been a problem the whole postseason.
It's been- well, no, but it's sloppy weather. It's slippery.
It's
You
only
know how
that. I
goes.
forgot.
But yeah, who do
Until
you
the third
think has
quarter.
a better day? Obviously, Drake May, a better night.
No, I think Sam's going to have a better day. But I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a
I sure as heck hope so.
fun battle.
I hope I'm wrong.
I know.
really
I hope
do.
it comes
You know.
down to the wire or goes into overtime like we've seen other.
Yeah, and close
Super
could
Bowls.
be a high scoring for me. I don't care. Let it go back and forth. But I think their defenses are both really good defenses. I think New England gets overlooked a little bit on defense. But the facts are, look, Seattle was number one in scoring. New England was number 4. Regular season. Flip it around, New England's way ahead by eight points a game. Now, granted, you can't, it's 2 games to 3 games. But that matters to me. You know what I mean? I factor that into it.
Yeah.
So
I feel like if it's close, then we have a low scoring game. If it's, to me, if it's high scoring, that means,
well,
in
Drake
my
will have to
opinion,
play out of his mind
well,
if
yeah,
it's
that
if
means
it's high
Seattle
scoring.
is scoring all those points. All right, 1 segment to go. I'll bring you today's Terminix Pest of the Day. So don't go anywhere. It's Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels from the Greenlaw Group Studios. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Because this message is for you. ET here on behalf of Blue Chew. And when it's all on the line, and when the moment counts, make sure that when you shoot, you don't miss. And Blue Chew tablets got you covered. Blue Chew provides access to chewable tablets that help you feel and perform at a high level with stronger results and longer lasting performance. With a simple, discreet process so you don't have to worry about the nosy neighbors because they're in everybody's business. No waiting rooms, no awkward appointments. Just fast-acting chewables delivered straight to your doorstep. And guess what? I got a special deal for our listeners. Get your first month of Blue Chew on me. Just pay $5 in shipping. Just use promo code 1010XL at checkout and cover them $5 for shipping again. That's promo code 1010XL and your first month of Blue Chew is on me. Head over to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. Then just chew it and do it.
Helmets and Heels Friday.
Brightened by Bowden Iron Associates.
Farah and Farah is thrilled to offer our annual Empowering Greatness Scholarship. 5 Florida high school seniors will receive 2 years' worth of tuition to a Florida college, university, or trade school. Apply now. Jacksonville.
It's your boy, Big Sirs, your lemon pepper guy. And we're in the red zone for the big game. You know I don't play when it comes to Wingstop. Here's the play call. You got to pre-order your wings by Saturday to beat the rush. Spend $50 or more. I'm going to help you score a free large ranch. Just add the large ranch to your cart and use promo code BIGGAME. And check out that Wingstop app or wingstop.com. Spend just $50 on Wingstop pre-order by Saturday and add that free large ranch with your promo code BIGGAME.
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues, and I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantling, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Be the first to discover the best new home community in beautiful Green Cove Springs. Highland Trail, where the rhythm of life slows down. Enjoy green spaces, luxury pools, pickleball courts, winding trails, and more at livehighlandtrail.com. Choose from 3 premium builders, just starting in the 300s.
Oh, at Highland Trail.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
Tara Lagaman here for Local Fair Jacks. Fresh, local produce, eggs, and meat delivered right to your door. It's where Jeff and I shop because we know exactly where our food is coming from. There's no scary recalls, just trusted local farmers. Visit localfairjacks.com.
Give a unique gift this Valentine's Day to that special person in your life with a custom-made candle or body care product from Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jax Beach.
If your home doesn't have a fireplace, CSS can install a beautiful electric or gas fireplace from Heat & Glow with no major remodel required. See their showroom or CSSOutdoor.com for a free estimate. CSS, you dream it, we build it.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Taylor Doll, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. This Friday afternoon has blown by as we are barreling really towards Super Bowl 60 on Sunday night. Time now for today's Terminix Pest of the Day is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. It's TERMINIX.com. They take care of all of the pest control issues at Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town because they do such a great job. They'll do the same for you as they do for me at my house. All right, so the pest of the day, we mentioned this earlier, but Tiffany Haddish was the one who announced Coach of the Year last night during the NFL honors, and she pronounced Vrabel as verbal, as in it rhymes with gerbil.
Right.
And then Drewski mispronounced Jackson Smith in Jigba multiple times. And I don't understand. I know that I'm a psycho when it comes to pronunciation. Yeah. And I hold anyone who's on air at 1010XL or ESPN or wherever, I hold all of us to higher standards because this is part of our job, right? To get it right. But these people only have to announce
one name.
One name.
Yeah.
You had
You just have to
one
learn
job.
one.
Literally, you had one job. And I guess I could have made the pest today. Whoever voted for Justin Herbert to be the MVP, but he told who like he announced.
He said Sam Monson.
Sam
is who it
Monson
was, yeah.
he's like, I'm the one who voted for him. He had the worst
And this is
offensive
why,
line,
yeah.
and he played under those conditions. But sad to see Trevor Lawrence did not get any votes for MVP.
Yeah. Again, look.
But he did get votes for comeback player.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Look, I mean, he had a great
two.
Half a year, and the other half was okay.
Yeah.
Just wasn't MVP like. So put it all together next year and you'll get more votes. You get a ton of votes, especially if you win. I think it's great that it's just there. I mean, once what I mean, that just means a lot to me.
I know you weren't like locked in, but last night, so Myles Garrett, where he was sitting, the table of Liam Coen and his wife Ashley and Trevor Lawrence and his wife Marissa were literally directly behind Myles Garrett. So every time they showed Myles, you could see one of the four of them.
Cowboy
and I was
hat.
like, I was like, this is so fun. I love Myles Garrett. Can he be a
I wonder if
Jack?
Liam's like, hey, Miles,
Yeah.
what would it take? Can you tell me?
Yeah,
Miles,
let's
why
figure
did you
this out.
sign that extension?
Yeah.
You should have just walked away, and then you could be a Jaguar playing alongside Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker and Eric Armstead.
Yeah, and I will say, though, the Browns, outside of quarterbacks, crushed their draft.
Yeah.
They had one of the better drafts in the NFL. And obviously, you have the defensive rookie of the year, your defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
And
then the defensive coordinator decided to resign the same day.
George was like, peace
none
out.
of it. Yep.
After he did not get a head coaching
I think Mason
job.
Graham had a good year.
Yeah, that's
overall.
everybody I've talked to from the Browns,
Said
and
he had a
obviously
good
Quinshon
year,
Judkins had a great year, and
Yeah.
everybody loves him. So they had a really good draft. So they have to be at least. I mean, if you figure out a quarterback, that's the next step of what you're going to do with that. You have a lot of money being spent on quarterbacks right now, and do one of them pan out, or do you have to do something again?
Right.
I don't know the answer to that,
They
but
have 17, or they did last year.
it was so many. I was like, why are we?
They
you don't
really
need
had
that many.
5 or 6 at one point in time.
It was five. Yeah, because obviously Deshaun, Pickett, Flacco, Shador, and Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, it felt like they had another one in the mix at some point in time. I have a very important question for y'all. Do spinach balls sound like a good Super Bowl appetizer?
Balls or bowls?
Spinach balls.
Balls?
Yes.
You sound like Donna Murphy.
So you take spinach and
put it into a
stuffing,
ball.
spinach
like-
and stuffing mix and egg and some other seasonings, and you wrap them into a ball and then you bake it. And it's very savory. but
Yeah. So
it's not very Super Bowl-ish,
I
right?
will say I'm a huge spinach fan. Like I will eat spinach, just like raw spinach. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I'll just eat that for a snack by itself because that sounds delicious to me.
Okay.
Just like spinach dip.
Yeah.
I love spinach
Same
dip
here.
or artichoke spinach dip. If you put spinach in something, I like it a little extra.
All
So
right.
I'm the wrong person
So-
to ask probably because
I like spinach, but I don't know about balls.
spinach balls.
Spinach in the ball fashion.
All right, good
Platform.
to know.
I bet you'd like it.
I won't make
think so?
those for
Yeah.
you at any point in time.
Yeah, meat. Give me some meat.
Meat.
Right.
Give me some meat, and I'll be good.
All right, let's say hello
Says
to the Francis
Meathead.
Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hey, so we chatted about this earlier when Liam Coen was asked about Jacoby Myers and the trade. He went on to say that he saw Trevor Lawrence play as a freshman in high school live, right? He was there live. Is that like a well-known thing that somehow flew over my head?
Well, it would make sense because he would have been at Kentucky, right?
He was at
Was at
UMass, like a quarterback's coach at UMass. That's what I thought too. Was like Kentucky, but
That's ambitious recruiting. I don't know if he was there to specifically see Trevor or not, but yeah, that's wild that they go back that far. But yeah, certainly exciting to see what they can do in year 2, and it'll be a lot of fun. We'll talk about that coming up with Pete Prisco. Get into Super Bowl, obviously, but also just some thoughts about the Jaguars and some Gator basketball, some Gator football, all sorts of fun stuff.
How are you feeling about Florida at Texas A&M Saturday night?
They should win. Texas A&M plays a real pressing style, so
drives me crazy.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how the guards handle that, but Florida should win. They're better. Texas A&M hasn't really played a team like Florida. This will be like probably the 8th or 9th best team Florida has seen. So, you don't know how they'll handle the environment and things like that. The press is really the thing that, no one plays like A&M.
Right.
So that will be interesting. But if they can handle that okay, they should be in good shape.
The Alabama A&M game did not give me the same juice as a Florida midweek basketball game, by the way.
It was a good game though.
Yeah.
28 lead changes. It was a lot of fun. And I didn't know like if A&M would be legit or not because they haven't really, their strength of schedule is like in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But they were. I thought controlled the game and just sort of let it slip away at the end, which is kind of, something that you see from a team that's learning how to be successful. Because they don't have necessarily the strongest program. They got a new coach, but yeah. So I think it was a good learning lesson for Texas A&M. But I came away thinking if that was a 7-game series, I'd pick the Aggies even losing game 1. So it'll be a challenge for Florida. A&M's better than what I thought they would be watching them the other night in the 100-97 loss to Alabama.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
All right,
Thanks
thank
so
you.
much. We'll be listening. Yeah, like I said, gymnastics at 9 tonight, Gator basketball at 8:30 tomorrow, and then that little ditty called the Super Bowl on Sunday.
A little ditty.
It'll be a great weekend.
Yes, for
Can't
sure.
wait.
And warming up as well.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the other nice part.
Can't wait.
What are you guys doing? You going to a Super Bowl party?
We are going to a Super Bowl party. Yes,
I
that's why I was
figured out
asking
yet.
about spinach
I'm
balls.
too. I kind of feel like going to a bar for the first half for some reason, just to have that action going on. You know what I mean?
I feel like anywhere other than your couch is a good place to watch the Super Bowl for you in order to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, so you don't take a little nappy.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to I'll have to walk around. I will. You know me too well.
Absolutely.
You know me too well.
All right, well, y'all enjoy the Super Bowl.
too.
I'm sure we'll be texting during it. That'll do it for us. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talk, and we will talk to you on Monday to talk all things Super Bowl and the game itself. But